So I'm walking around the British Motor Show and I'm just looking at all the amazing cars that are here, the amazing displays, the club displays, all the people are here that are getting involved, that are getting so excited about it. And I can't help, at one point I'm feeling like really excited and really happy, and just the kid in me is just like, oh man, look at this, you know, Aston Martin, DBS, you know, all of this is happening. And then on the other hand, I'm slightly sad, you know, I'm slightly concerned about the way that we celebrate these cars and the way that we enjoy these cars, especially like old things like this. How much longer have we got to be able to do this? Will people allow us to do this? Let's have a little walk around here. There's some amazing metal here.
A brown car guy. Brown car guy.
Check this out. I mean, to be honest, like for people now, this is a classic. But to me, I'm like, I used to get into races with these guys. You know, I used to own a Lancia Prisma symbol, which had pretty much the same power output as an XR3i Escort. And you know, and in London, inevitably you'd get a white Escort XR3i, and you'd end up getting into a little challenge, so we say. Of course, we didn't have. Of course, we had police cars back then, but this was the thing. If you had your sixth sense radar on, you would know that if there was a police car. And in fact, I never did get done, touch wood, at the time. But now look at this. I mean, this is your nemesis right here, isn't it? I mean, this is a mobile speed camera. This is what will get you. This is how they work. So that's interesting. You got the army here. Check it out. This is an incredible display that the army's got. You don't expect to come to a car event and you got this incredible massive tanks and all the rest of it right there. But again, just looking at some of these cars, I mean, the cars that you recognize, the Sierra Cosworth, the Alfa Romeos, it's a race car in this particular case. But you look at these cars and you think back to, I suppose for me, like fonder memories, you know, the great times checking out these cars, getting to drive them, driving around with mates, you know, talking about them, enjoying them, going to see races at Brands Hatch and Silverstone and stuff like that. All of which you can still do. You can still do that now. So I'm not saying that none of that is available to anyone anymore. But on the other hand, you know, we do seem to be, you know, getting into an era now where, you know, there seems to be a war on the motorists. You know, there isn't the same wider scale. I mean, if you look at the attendances here, which are massive, and it's really, really good. I mean, we're coming towards the end of the day now, and there's still so many people around. This is it's only now that I've had time because I'm working here at the British Motor Show, and I've been busy throughout. This is the third day of the show. One more day left tomorrow, but I've been busy throughout in the BYD hall where I've been running the tech hub, hosting some sessions and introducing others. So I haven't had a chance to actually come out this far to this massive motor show and be able to see this. So people think motor show is just a hangar full of brand new cars, but it's not. It's about the culture, it's about the clubs, it's about the classics, it's about the passion, it's about the enjoyment, it's about the quirkiness. I mean, quirkiness, look at the duck, inflatable duck. And if you want quirkiness, I mean, Citroën defined quirkiness, didn't it, at one point? And this is what it's about. I mean, and look at the efforts that people go to. They got, you know, here's my car and here's a little version, here's a pedal version of it, you know. You got these Citroëns here, which have all got personality and character. Porsche 928 Love, Jaguar E-Type. That car is made, I think you can buy those. And then you've got these here, and you've got, what is this, Ring of Bells. Look at the amount of effort that's gone in. No cheese, wine or baguettes are left in this vehicle overnight. Isn't that bonkers? So you go around here and you see these old Citroëns. Look at this one. Oh, look at the amount of thought and personality and character and charisma that has gone into that. Oh yeah, Raid Australia. So I guess this car has been around Australia, and it's certainly showing the battle scars of that. Vans like this. So the point being is that, you know, the traction Avance, I mean, aren't those a special thing? And this is it. It's like I'm walking around here, and as soon as I think I've seen, like, oh my God, look at that, and I turn my head, I'm like, oh my God, look at that. And that's the beauty of events like this. It's just, you never know what you're going to see. You never know what's going to catch your eye, and everything is like it's one thing sort of, you know, is even tops the next thing. You know, it's that sort of thing. Got Porsche. Look at the Porsche club is right here. And when you look at events like this, and this is fortunately Farnborough International Exhibition Centre, Farnborough Airport. You see, this is an airport. This is the airfield right there. Where this is actually taking place is actually outside of the ULEZ zone. It's outside of the M25. But there are events, there are venues such as the AIDS Cafe. There are events such as the Enfield pageant, the Bromley pageant, and things like that, which are within the M25. Which, you know, those guys have already started. I think it was the Enfield pageant, I think, or one of them, I can't remember. One of them put out a report saying, you know, they're going to lose something like 40% of their attendance for sure. You know, for sure. You know, that's because that's modern classics. Because modern classics fall into that gap that ULEZ creates, you know, in terms of car culture. Because if it's over 40 years old, and as long as you have registered your car as a classic, and keep that in mind, you have to register it as a classic. It's not enough for it to be 40 years old. It has to be registered as a classic. In that case, it's ULEZ exempt. But if it's not 40 years old, then it's not ULEZ exempt, you know. And I guess one of the reasons that I'm probably a little bit sad is the fact that, you know, I've been driving to the show and driving home every day, even in the rain yesterday, in my 1989 modern classic BMW E30 325i. And I guess, you know, a lot of people here have met me and they've said, oh, so what are you going to do when ULEZ, because ULEZ does look like it's coming in on August the 29th, and many people have said, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do with your car? And I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't know, honestly. It's one of those things, it's one of the best parts of the morning. You know, I'm not an early riser. I hate getting up early. It's quite a big, it's an hour, in the morning it's about an hour and 10, hour and 5, or hour and 10 minutes. Going home now it's much longer. It's normally about an hour and a half, but it's one of the best parts of the morning is going downstairs, the roads are relatively quiet, jumping into the 325i, firing up that straight six, and just having this exhilarating ride, an exhilarating drive, you know, to this exhibition centre. So they really set you up for the day. You're really pumped, you're really excited, you really want to talk about cars and get people excited and just share your passion and your joy for these things, right? But, you know, come August the 29th, driving that, the privilege of driving that car will cost me an additional, and I say additional because people are like, oh, it's £12.50, what is that, nothing, but it's an additional, because don't forget, when you have a car, any car, and particularly when you have a classic car, you're already paying quite a lot for the privilege, and I do say privilege of driving that car, in terms of insurance, in terms of maintenance, in terms of fuel, in terms of everything that you're doing to own that car and to run that car, you're already paying a lot. And the £12.50 literally is the straw that broke the camel's back, and I think that's where, you know, it's just so cruel in that sense. So there you go, back to the main part of the show, which is here. BYD Hall is just over there where I am. I'll still be there tomorrow, and we'll be doing, I think tomorrow I still have sessions to do there. Before I go, let me just walk you around this bit here, which of course is a supercar paddock. Now many of these, a Premier GT supercar paddock I should say. Now many of these cars of course won't be impacted by ULEZ because they're supercars. And I guess for a lot of people that also is kind of weird. For a lot of people it doesn't make sense. They're like, well, you know, you're going to penalize my 2015 Honda CRV diesel, which, you know, is I hardly use. I ferry the family around and whatever. It's not me. It's actually a neighbour. But yet, you can drive your 5-litre Mustangs and your V12 Lamborghini supercars around London, no problem at all. This is the state of play. This is the state of things. This is how we are now. This is where we're going. Gotta say though, that does look rather nice, doesn't it? See you in the next video.
Brown car guy.
Hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please hit the like button and share this video as well if you can. And while you're at it, check out these guys who also sponsor my content. I am deeply grateful to them because it helps me to buy new equipment, put fuel in the cars, and yes, buy a cup of coffee. You can do the same. Just go here or right here on YouTube. Just hit these 3 little dots down here and click on thanks. Make sure you're signed in first. My content is free, but this is how you can help me keep it that way. I may even send you a gift. Oh, by the way, watch this next.